Well, hello. Today is Wednesday, December 23rd. Today would have been my eve of Christmas Eve. I know I've been bringing that up. I'd like to beat a dead horse. It's just like I can't let anything go. I just can't. It's just not who I am. It's not in my nature. But we do have a birthday today, so that perked me up too. That perks me up. Today is Becky Webb's birthday. Becky gets a song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Becky. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, hope you have a great day, Becky. Hopefully people give you your birthday presents in birthday wrapping paper. Because I told you, my sister Sue's birthday was the day after Christmas, and so we always had to find out. It was easy because we just used the comics from the newspaper. But we could never wrap in Christmas wrapping. I did a tag earlier with my son Jimmy. He got tested again for his COVID, so he was safe, so he came over. And then my best friend came over and we exchanged gifts. Oh, let me get the gift. I shall show it to you. Just a minute. I'll be right back. I'm back. Did you miss me? Please don't say like Jim does. Jim always says, I always say, did you miss me? And he goes, with every bullet. Should I take offense at that? Nah, he's just kidding. But anyway, she came over. She works in retail, so she's one of the essential workers. So she had her mask on, I had my mask on, and we were outside in front of my house. We were about 8 feet apart, exchanging gifts. Hopefully this is the last Christmas in my lifetime that I have to do it this way. Hopefully in your lifetime too. Let's hope now for another 100 years that this happens. Maybe then, maybe it won't even happen again. Maybe we will finally learn from our mistakes. But anyway, so she gave me this. It was all wrapped really pretty. Had the pretty wrapping, like the pretty fluffy paper that I don't know how to do. Because I'm a good enough wrapper. I like hearing from you, Kim. You and I are the same. She got me some of my favorite kind of candy, milk chocolate caramel. And I know you're thinking she's sabotaging me, but she's not. She really isn't, because she had asked me before. She said, can I give you some candy? Will that tempt you? And I said, no. It's the holidays. I can't think that for the rest of my life I'm never going to have a piece of candy. I figure it into my points. I'll figure out how many. I know there's going to be a lot of points for a Ghirardelli chocolate. 4 points for 1 square. Gonna savor this, that's for sure. Square, I'm sure. But I'm gonna figure it into my points and enjoy it. Not all at one setting. Stretch it out and just do it, because, like I said, you have to figure out what you can do within reason in your plan and stay within that boundaries. And the little things in life that you want, don't deprive yourself of them, because if you deprive yourself of them, then you're going to binge on them. There's no point in binging. But anyway, then she got me my gift, which she had wrapped up in the paper. And it says, friends are a gift sent from above. Isn't that pretty? It's a little statue. And the funny thing about this is, I had picked up this exact same ornament, Christmas ornament. It's not really an ornament that you hang on the tree, but when you put out on display. I had picked out this exact same one, and I was going to get it for her. And I had it in my basket, because I did go into the store for that. I went into the Hallmark store, because Hallmark has so many things, and it's just nicer to see them in person. And the Hallmark store by me is in a little strip mall that is very less traveled. So, as a matter of fact, when I went in, there was only one other customer in the store. And so we were able to stay really social distant. And then where the counter is where you pay, that's all enclosed in plexiglass. And obviously the workers had on masks. And they had little stations all around the store with hand sanitizer. No matter where you went, there was hand sanitizer. So I felt pretty safe in there. And I wasn't in there that long. But I saw that and I was going to get it. And then my eye kind of caught, because she loves Charlie Brown. And they had a really cute, I wish I would have shown you, but I forgot to take a picture of it. A really cute blue Snoopy mug, and it has Snoopy on the front, and then it has Linus on the back, and then it has Charlie Brown, and the handle is like kind of crooked, like it was cute. It was really cute. And then I bought some Charlie Brown wrapping paper, Peanuts wrapping paper, and wrapped it up in that. And so then I think we gave that to each other. So it was nice. But it reminded me of the fact that I'm going to tell you 2 stories today. The first story is for people on my comments yesterday asked me if Jim had taken me out after that big fiasco of our first anniversary. We went the following weekend, we went out to eat, but it wasn't all that special because it was a week after. And it was Jim's mother's birthday the Saturday after our anniversary. And I think we went to his mom's house for her birthday because her birthday was the 9th of July and we got married on the 2nd of July. We got married on a Friday, so the following year it was on a Saturday. And so I really don't remember, believe it or not, I don't remember. But I know that we didn't go anywhere really special, but I'm sure we went out to eat somewhere. But the following year, no, years later, this was probably, I don't know, maybe like our 10th or 20th anniversary. We had a pretty good budget because we were doing a little bit better with money back then. We had a better budget. And so we had set aside money for each other. And well, our whole married life, we had his money, our money, and together money, was it? His money, my money, their money, our money, whatever. And so we decided to take a little bit of our money out and divide it up so we could get each other a gift. And if we wanted to spend a little bit more of our own money to make it a bigger, better gift, we could do that. So we took whatever it was out and split that up. And then we were looking for the couple months before that, we were looking at cameras because we were going to go on a, oh no, this is just before our 25th, so it would have been our 24th anniversary, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, it would have been our 24th anniversary because we knew that Jim's parents had told us that for our 25th anniversary, they had bought us tickets to go to Hawaii for 15 days, that we were going to go in March of the year that we would have been 25 years, because it would have been their 50th in January, and then it would have been our 25th in July. So we were going to go in March, we're going to go to Hawaii, and Jim's parents had already told us that that they were going to bring us there, so we were all excited about that, and we wanted to get a really good camera, because we didn't really have a good camera at that point. And so I thought, well, I'm going to use the money from household, and then I'm going to put some of my own money in, and I'm going to get Jim a really nice camera. So when it came time for our anniversary, we went out to dinner. He didn't work overtime. He didn't bring any drunken friends home. It was made clear after that first one, he never did that again. Been there, done that, don't ever do it again. So he never did. And so we sit down, we went to the restaurant, we had our dinner, and then we bring out our gifts, and they're both wrapped the exact same. Well, Jim's is wrapped better because he had his sister Bertie wrap them. Bertie is like a professional wrapper. She has in her basement a professional wrapping station. It's like, I'm not lying. I'm sure that anybody that's well organized like her probably has the same thing, but she has like all the ribbons and bows, and she's got little things you pull out that, like this is the wrapping paper, and then this is like the certain kind of bows, and these are the certain kind of labels, and then she's got like a roll thing where you roll it's like a whole production. It's like perfect. It really is. And she does excellent. You hate to open her gifts. They're so pretty. But we're supposed to exchange our gifts on Saturday night. We're going to be physically distant. We're going to do that. We're going to do outside. We're going to be sitting by a fire and going to do a exchange of gifts. And then I will take a picture before I open her presents to show you how elaborate her wrapping is, because she does a really good job. So anyway, I have my present on the thing with this, like, you go to the dollar store and you buy a bag of bows for $1. They're all kind of like, they look like that. You put a little piece of tape on the back and smack it on top, and that's good enough. That was my present. Here's Jim's, this beautifully wrapped paper with this beautifully handmade bow. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. You can only imagine how sorry looking mine looked. But anyway, maybe tomorrow I'll share one of the gifts I've wrapped so you can see my sorry looking wrapping. Maybe. Don't hold your breath, because I might not even show you. It might be too embarrassing. Anyway, we get ready to open the gifts. And Jim says, you open yours first. And I go, no, you open yours first. And he goes, no, you open yours first. And I go, no, you open yours first. And he says, no. And I said, okay, let's stop. Let's both open them at the same time. So he knows that his is just going to be a rip open. Who cares? And he knows that I'm going to be like meticulous because I don't want to rip anything because it looks so pretty. So he went at a slower pace, and we opened them up. And then we get all done and we open it up, and we open up the thing to look at the gift in the box. We bought each other a camera. Not only did we buy each other a camera, we bought ourselves the exact same camera. It was like the boxing, the price, everything was exactly alike. It was the exact same camera. So that just proves that when you've been married for almost 25 years, you know each other's tastes. So then we were like, who's going to bring it back? So like, I don't know, who's going to bring it back? Because then whoever brings it back, this is my mind thinking. I'm going, well, you should probably bring yours back. I should probably bring mine back because I know I have the receipt and you probably don't. And then he goes, no, I think you should bring yours back because I do have my receipt. And I go, no, why don't you bring yours back? Because then we'll know that I really went out of my way to buy you a nice camera. And he says, no, I kind of think I want the same feeling. And I go, well, how about this? We'll bring back the camera, one of the cameras. We'll put a little name. This is how childish we were. We'll put our names in a little hat, and we'll pull a name out. And whoever's name pulls out, then that person has to take the camera back. And then Jim thought about it for a minute. And he said, well, I have a better suggestion. And I go, what? He says, why don't we decide, just between us, be an adult, and we'll decide we'll just take one of the cameras back. And then we'll split the money in half and give each of us half of the money back. Okay, that sounds good. Because I know we both wanted our money back. And that's sad. That's just who we were. That's just who we were. That's who we are. So anyway, we brought back Jim's camera. And then we split the money up, and I gave him half, and I kept half. And so, and then we had the camera. And then there it goes. But anyway, I forgot about that story. I just thought of that when I saw that we were going to get the same gift. Okay, anyway, I checked with Weight Watchers today because I told you I'm still going to be a weight loss channel. I don't know if I made that clear. I'm rethinking about staying with Weight Watchers because I'm not going to the meetings. All I'm really doing is paying them like $21 a month for me to weigh myself, put it in an app, and then have them keep track of it. And then maybe they won't change the rules by the time I get to my goal, and then I can go for free. But they're changing so many rules, I don't know that that's going to happen. I do like doing the meeting highlights each week, but like I said, I could come up with my own meeting highlight once a week. I could do that. I do know all of the points and stuff like that. I have all the books, I have all my journals, I have all of that, so I could stay with that. So I've been like debating back and forth, and so I called Weight Watchers, and I did sign a contract, or not sign a contract, but I agreed to a contract when I went to the lower price that I'm paying. And I have, my last payment is due on February 3rd, and that'll take me till March 3rd. So I have till March 3rd to decide about my destination with the WW program. But I'm still going to show you my food, I haven't shown you my hauls because I don't go to the grocery store that often. I really like loaded up with my pantry and my freezer before winter set in. Basically, when I go to for the curbside pickup, it's just picking up some fruits and vegetables, which is basically what I ever showed you anyhow. But as far as meats and stuff, I have a freezer full of meats. I have a pantry full of canned goods and dry goods and things like that. I'm basically just getting milk and eggs and things like that. But I'm going to show you my hauls. I might try to do a little bit more menus and stuff, but that's next year. That's so far away. 8 days. But anyway, but like today would have been my eve of Christmas Eve dinner, and I never realized how much I didn't enjoy the small things in my life until this year came. And I think a lot of us have grown with a new appreciation of just the subtle touches of them. If you watch me, you know I'm not a hugger. I am just not a hugger. But I miss my grandkids. I miss getting a hug. I miss getting a little kiss on the cheek. I miss little things like that. I miss seeing them. And I just took for granted that every Thursday everybody was going to show up for family dinner. And I haven't had a family dinner since the first week in March. So it's been almost 10 months. And that's very crushing for me. But I just have to remind myself that things are going to get better. Hopefully can't get any worse. I'm being very safe, not getting together, staying apart, doing my little curbside exchanges with gifts. It's a different year. It's a different year, but next year is going to be better. I just know it. Of course, I said I knew I was going to hit my 100 pounds this year, and that's not going to happen. But it gives me a whole new goal and a whole new perspective for 2021, and I know I'm going to do it next year. I have a whole year to do it, and I know I'm going to do it. If I can't lose 5 pounds in a year, stick a fork at me, I'm done. But I'm going to do it. I definitely am going to do it. So anyway, last little story I'll share with you. Tomorrow is my last story day. I have one all planned for tomorrow. I know which one I'm going to tell you tomorrow. And I'm probably going to post it up early because it's Christmas Eve, and so I'll probably get it up hopefully before 3 o'clock. And then we'll go from there. But my nephew William had come by because he had got a deer and he was bringing something back that he had borrowed from Jim, so he was socially distant outside. And we were talking, and it reminded me of a story of when Danny was little. See, this is what I didn't know. This is why I with so much going on, this is not having anything to do with the story, but if you got anybody who's a nurse or anybody like that could let me know. I don't know. We still wore our masks. We still stayed apart, than that. But he had COVID, and he didn't have any symptoms of COVID, but he had to get 2 negative tests before he could go back to work. He had it before Thanksgiving, but he got his 2 negative tests, and the last test that he got, they said that he still had the antibodies in his system, that even though it tested negative, he tested positive for the antibodies. Now, does that mean he can get COVID again? Does that mean he can pass COVID on? I don't know. We weren't sure, so that's why we stayed physically distant. We wore our masks. We stayed outside. But I was under the impression that if you've already had it, that you can't pass it on to anybody. But then I don't know if you got the antibodies in your system. I don't know. So it's always better to err on the side of caution. So that's what we did. We erred on the side of caution. But anyway, it reminded me of the story of William, because William was a rough and tumble little boy. he was a brute. I mean, not a brute like in the bad sense. He was just like a big baby. Not a big baby, but like a solid chunk of a little boy. He was always like big and not fat, but like stocky, I guess. And he was strong little boy. He tore apart like 2 cribs. I mean, he literally tore apart 2 cribs. I don't know how many playpens he tore apart. He just had more strength than any little boy should. He was like when you watch Superman, and when he's a little boy and he comes down to the planet and he lifts the car up when his dad was like fixing the car. Not his real dad, but his Earth dad. But like he lifted up the car and he was just like a baby. That's the strength William had like when he was a toddler. He was just like really strong little boy. But he was always like a bull in the china cabinet, a bull in the china shop rather, because he couldn't help himself. He really couldn't help himself. He was the sweetest little boy, but he just couldn't help himself. And Danny was puny. And William and Danny were like that. They were like, and they're only a year apart in age, but they were like inseparable. They just did everything together. But Danny would look like an Ethiopian child. Danny wouldn't eat anything. Danny lived his whole life, his first 5 years of life, that he would eat for dinner mashed potatoes, applesauce, and cottage cheese. That's all he would eat. You couldn't get anything else in him. Mashed potatoes, applesauce, and cottage cheese. And for breakfast, all you could get down him was some Cheerios. Maybe occasionally a scrambled egg, but that was it. He was not an eater, and he was so undernourished, it looked like. But whenever I took him to the doctors, all of his blood work and everything checked out. But anyway, so he was always on the puny side. And William was so rough when he played, and he always ended up breaking one of Danny's toys. And I would always get so mad because I'd always tell Bertie, like, he needs to stop this because, Danny has favorite toys, and whenever William comes over, he breaks a toy, and it's just... And she says, well, I don't know what to tell you. And I said, well, I'm telling you this, that the next time that William comes over and he breaks a toy, the next time we come over to your house, I'm going to tell Danny he can go into William's room and pick out any toy he wants, and that's going to be his to make up for any broken toy that William breaks from this point forward. And so she said, well, yeah, that seems fair. So we told William, if you break anything, next time we come to your house, Danny's going to pick out one of your toys and he's going to bring it home. It's going to be his toy. It's not going to be your toy anymore. And William said, oh, okay, okay. And he never broke toys out of meanness. He just like overplayed or something. He was just a hard player. It's just, and sure enough, he broke one of Danny's favorite toys, and it just like broke it. I mean, there was no fixing it. And Danny was just beside himself. He was crying and everything. And I said right in front of Bertie, I says, well, the next time we come, then you're going to get one of William's toys. You can have whatever you want, one of William's toys. So when we went to the house, like a week or two later, and Danny reminded me, he says, I get to have one of William's toys. And I said, yeah, but don't start anything. We'll just get it when we're leaving. So we went there for dinner or something. And when we were leaving, Danny comes out with William's favorite truck. And he's carrying it out the door. And then William started crying. He says, that's my truck. You can't have my truck. And then Bertie says, well, Danny, that's not your truck. That's William's truck. And then I look at Bertie and I go, no, that's Danny's truck now. Because remember, we made the agreement that if he broke anything else at Danny's, that Danny was going to be able to get one of his toys. And then Bertie said, you know, you're right. You did say that. And so she said to William, she says, you broke one of Danny's toys. It's only fair he gets one of your toys now. And William went crazy, crying, and he was so upset. And Danny's just kind of looking. And I said, let's just go. So we just left. William never broke not one more toy of Danny's after that. We eventually gave him back his truck because I just felt guilty, but I just kind of wanted William to see that, you know, you got to be a little bit more careful. I mean, I know that some things are beyond your control, but so the toy that he had broken, Jim and I had went and bought him another one, and we said, you know, the next time you see William, maybe you can give him back his toy. And he says, yeah, because he really misses his truck. Danny was very generous. I told you he would break a candy bar in half and he would measure it. And most kids, you would measure it because you wanted to make sure that he got the bigger piece. Danny would measure it to make sure he gave away the bigger piece. That's the type of child Danny always was. Well, he's that same way now. No, he still is. He really is. But anyway, well, thank you for perking up my day a little bit. Because it was like a hard day for me. I'm used to have my family over today. But next year. Tune in next year because it'll be an elaborate affair. It's gonna look like a winter wonderland in this house. It really is. Because you know what? Even though I'm gonna give like not so much gifts, it's just gonna be like the charm of all the laughter and the closeness and everything like that's gonna be the best gift I can ever have. Just having my whole family with me, whether they get like a million gifts or no gifts. Just the fact that I can get a hug from everybody. And you know what? You never thought you'd hear me say, I want a hug. And you know what? I want my hugs. I want my hugs now. Because as soon as you know you can't have them, it's when you want them. So, okay, that's going to do it for tonight. As always, always, always stay safe, especially this year. Be safe. Please, please, please be safe. Just know that even though we're not seeing our families as close as we'd like to this year, that next year we're going to all be around together, hugging each other and loving every minute of it. Okay, stay safe.